Hi, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. I have tried to record this a few times. There's a lot of traffic noise today. It's a beautiful Sunday and there are a lot of folks headed down to the lake. So I'm just going to try to talk over top of the traffic. When the motorcycles go by though, I apologize. It's a little bit loud because they are traveling in groups and I don't blame them. It's a beautiful day to go for a drive along the lake. So let's just try to talk over top of it. This is a journal that was returned to me for repair. I am very happy for the opportunity to repair it. Of course, I think as makers, we should stand by our products. There was a process I used to use. I no longer do now that I know that this product failed. It was like a craft paper tape type of assembly. I use a good quality chipboard. So a front cover, a back cover, and then the third piece is the spine. And then I do this encasement with that craft paper tape. And then, of course, the signatures are sewn into. This had really cute little yellow grommets to match the sun here for Sun Harbor Studio. I did Mod Podge over top of this because I knew it was going to be used outdoors. She wanted to take this with her field journal, you know, obviously, to do her sketching and her painting. And this would be outdoors. So that was the whole reason for using the vinyl paper and such. Anyways, that adhesive dried over time and then the covers just popped right out. And Catherine said she was so sad when they come out and she felt bad. And she really loves her journal. So she was hoping I could repair it. Of course, I'm going to repair it. So I wanted to show you what I did in the products that I used. I didn't record the process because it's just been a busy weekend, but I will, it's pretty easy, self-explanatory what I did here. So I started with the inside. I repositioned the covers and then I used this fabric ribbon. It's got a nice tight weave on it. It's soft. I bought this at an antique store. It is not antique, but that just happens to be where I bought it. I love the linen look of it and I love the soft frayed edges. So I used that front and back, and I first, like I said, I repositioned the covers, and then I used this glue. This is, there's some bikes, one second, oh, it's just one. Aleene's Fabric Fusion, it's called. It's a great product. Well, I'm going to say it's a great product because I thought the other product was great, but I haven't had any problems with. The only problem I've had come back was that craft type of tape. Anyways, this is the glue I used, and then I put a good generous layer on, and then I smoothed it out with a paintbrush, and then I laid down the fabric like this, and then I pushed it into the crease first of all a number of times back and forth. I made sure it was down into the crease, where I also made sure there was glue down into the crease, and I knew this needed to be flexible, so that's why I used fabric instead of paper. And then I smoothed it out with this. Actually, I gotta clean the glue off my guy here. So I smoothed out the fabric ribbon afterwards. I let that cure. I had to dry it like this. I actually had it hanging. I had a little makeshift stand where actually this was hanging like this to dry. And then 24 hours I let that cure, and then the next day I trimmed off the excess ribbon off the top and bottom. So that was day one. And then day two I used this ribbon, fabric ribbon, for the outside. Now if this is a 2-inch spine, so I had a hard time finding something that would go all the way around, so I ended up doing this in two strips. So I wrapped it, so it started right about there. It met in the middle along the spine. So one strip, two strips. So there's two strips actually meeting in the middle. So I used, again, this Fabric Fusion, a good thick generous layer. I made sure it was smooth with a paintbrush. I laid this on top. I smoothed it out. I made sure it was pressed in, smoothed out, no bubbles. And then I waited maybe, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and then I added a layer of this over top of the ribbon. It's kind of like you would do with a Mod Podge, right? So I I let that cure 24 hours. And then in the next morning, I trimmed off the excess ribbon. I did not cut the ribbon to size before I glued it in case it shrunk, stretched. I didn't know what it was going to do, so I left a little overhang until it was completely dry, like I said, 24 hours, and then I trimmed it. So that was day 3 that I did the trimming. So on day 3, after that trimming was done, I set out, I went looking for a 4-inch wide cloth ribbon. I didn't want a satin ribbon. I didn't want paper. I wanted something that was flexible. I really didn't, this wasn't my first choice to do like a crocheted ribbon, but I really did have a hard time finding something that didn't have, you know, like the wire. I could have pulled wire out, but you know, the ribbon you get for making wreaths and such. But right, I wasn't having any luck finding a color that was neutral. Anyways, I did select this because this is what I went with to go over top. I had to cover that seam one way or the other. So this is flexible, it's stretchy, it's off-white at a neutral color, and it also has a flower pattern. So I thought, well, that's about as nature as we're going to get. So I have seen some out there before with birds and such, but I couldn't find any. I went to Lens Mill store and I went to Fabricland. I got some other great ribbon too while I was there, so I was really happy for the excuse to go. So then I did another layer of, I did this edge first with the Fabric Fusion. Again, smoothed it out with paintbrush. I added the lace. I waited about 15 minutes again, and then I kind of stretched this ribbon, kind of pulled it this way, and then I glued this down, pressed it in, and same thing with the other side. So you can see how it's been like pulled to its extent, like it's stretchy. So that's fantastic. So I did not do another layer of glue on the top though. We left this soft. So the only time I did glue underneath and on top was for this layer. Otherwise, the inside, this one, and this lace here, I only did the underside with the glue. So I let that dry 24 hours, and then this morning I trimmed it. So it's like about a 4-day process, really. You just need a little patience, but it is fixable. And that her journal is in one piece again, intact. She can go outdoors with it again. This, I wish I could have found a darker lace, knowing it's going to be outdoors, but I mean, I'm sure if it discolors over time, that's fine. Catherine, by the way, if it does and you get it dirty, you could probably just use some of your paints and dye that lace if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave that up to you. But anyways, this is, so I had done Mod Podge over top of like the sun here and stuff because I knew this was going to be used outdoors, and I used a vinyl wallpaper too because I knew it was going to be used outdoors. But she can once again go out and do her artwork and her painting and sketching, and this is my favorite. This is my favorite. I'll just do it quickly, but that's one of her sketches and watercolors, and then she did this over top, and I think that's just brilliant. But that is now repaired. So like I said, I think it's important that we stand by our work and I'm repair something if somebody ever brings, I would, that's my opinion. I mean, of course, if they have done something deliberately, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that. I think it's important just to stand by your work. And in this case, for sure, I knew that craft tape had failed. So I won't be using that again for the purpose of binding my or assembling my journal covers. Now, of course, if I had have used a journal cover that was all one piece, like some folks use cereal boxes or cracker boxes or something, and I've used them before too, then it's already one piece. I can probably, I mean, you probably already know this, but let's see if I have, so I have like this idea where you just cut that out, and then you've got, do I have any cut? Well, this one I took apart, but so you already have your spine in there. But so far, any journals I've made, I haven't used the cracker boxes and stuff. I've only used chipboard that I've purchased. I don't know, I just, like, here's some that are made, but this is made with chipboard. See how it has the 3 pieces? But this has a continuous cover. This did not. The pieces were separate. Like all 3 pieces were separate. But in this case, I've used the wallpaper as one solid. So that probably wouldn't have happened. But then you also run the risk of this ripping or splitting. But that is what those are. Yeah, like that. There's one that's not quite complete yet. The corners aren't done yet. But those are made with beautiful wallpaper. Just like this. What's this one? Oh, this one. Ha! This was, oh, it's tight. This I tried printing on printable canvas. That's from the Swan Lake collection. And I didn't like how dirty it looked after I did the Mod Podge on it. So this one I will not be using. But I did the end papers idea with this one. And I just tore out everything I had in there. You can see where I had stitched, and then I just tore it out because I just was not happy with this. And it's really, it's rough like sandpaper. I just do not like that. So if anybody has a better idea on how to do that, let me know. But these, sorry, I really got off topic there. Let me get these back out of the way. No, what I usually use is, for my covers, is like a chipboard like this. I actually buy sheets of chipboard from Amazon. And another thing you can do, this here, it's good and thick. I have to be careful knocking, or my dog will think there's someone at the door. This is actually from a binder. So if you have a binder that's had its end of life and it's going in the garbage, just slit the vinyl on top of the binder, like, you know, the vinyl binders I'm talking about. And then this is underneath. It's usually a really good sturdy chipboard in there. So this could be cut. I can use my industrial cutter, or you could use a knife multiple times. I can get a good journal cover out of that. I could probably, just from the one side of the binder, let me see the size here. Oh, look at that. So I could, the height there, so if this piece was cut off, that could be the spine. And can I get 2 out of it? Yes, I can. So that one piece, one side of the binder, is going to give me the 3 pieces I need to do a journal cover. Isn't that great? You know, we love to recycle. So anyways, back to this journal. It's all repaired, ready to ship back to Catherine. Again, Catherine, thank you for the opportunity for letting me fix this for you. And like many things in junk journaling, everything can be fixed. There isn't too much that can't be. So we can always cover something up, or we can take it out, redo it. We can resew. We can, in this case, we can reassemble. So don't, if something, don't throw your work away. Just hang on to it, because you can probably salvage it. That's why I'm hanging on to that one. I can probably salvage something out of it. But yeah, that's all done. Ready to go back to Catherine for her beautiful artwork. She's a Canadian, or she's from Ontario. She paints Canadian landscapes. Art. Check out Sun Harbor Studio. She's on Instagram and Facebook. Check out her beautiful work. There we are. Enjoy this beautiful day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.